It's pretty wild that all these communities are just yelling and cursing society that they want to be included and why they're not represented enough and blah, blah, blah. All this shit's going on when there's one demographic and minority that can't really do that and have other things to worry about, like real life. And that would be, the actual disabled individuals out there. And, you can cut yourself up as much as you want, but I think it's safe to say that some of these people actually have it a lot harder than they do. if you're not sure what gender you are or how to identify, some of these people can't even fathom what it's like to identify as something other than themselves, because this is who they are. But me and my girl, we saw a couple weeks ago Champions, and it was fantastic, right? It's with Woody Harrelson, where he ends up having to coach a special needs basketball team. And it was such a good movie, such a warm-hearted movie. And though this is the group of people I think that needs the most help nowadays, because these are this pocket of people are the people that are actually dealing with things that can't be fixed. They can't be changed just by changing your pronoun. They can't be changed by just, claiming that you are something else. It baffles me, because, we have shows like Love on the Spectrum and programs for these, individuals with special needs and disabilities and dysfunctions. And, they're still never going to attain the level of notoriety now that, someone who's gay and transgender can have. And, it's so sad. I mean, why don't companies take up a disabled person and put them on their face, as their logo? Like, why does it have to be Dylan Mulvaney fucking doing Budweiser and tampons, And I still can't believe he's called Dylan Mulvaney. I'm surprised he hasn't gone by like Sharon Mulvaney or something new now. Just ditch the Dylan. Dylan, you just look ridiculous. But yeah, so Champions, it stars this group of special needs actors that they were able to pull together. They went through a couple of them, I think like 40 or 50, 60 different, disabled, to try to find the right ones that could, work well and work with this movie. And it was a great cast. They pulled together a good amount of kids or / adults that, totally made the movie. There's Johnny, the main character Johnny, who's played by Kevin Iannucci, and he is just so funny. He's the best. He's like, the leader of the group, you would say, sort of, kind of. You had this guy Casey Metcalfe, who was Marlon. Oh my gosh, she was the best. And it's funny because it seems like he rocks a goatee, but in the movie, they shave him, and he looks like a little kid. It's like crazy, and he's so smart and like all like. It's just wild. And then one of my favorites, Bradley Edens, who was the character Showtime. He was hilarious because he would always shoot backwards and never make it. And even when you think he's going to make it, he didn't make it. But it's like, you go, bro. You keep trying. And then, of course, Constantino, played by the amazing Madison Telvin, who is just so sweet. She seems like a really cool person. Like, she would be probably fun to throw in, like, a movie or, like, a Marvel film or some nonsense as, like, a friend. She could have bbeen fucking Miss Marvel's friend in Miss Marvel instead of that Indian boy. But, it was a great movie. I mean, Woody Harrelson is one of my favorite actors, and he may not be a McConaughey. He may not be a McConaughey, but he's a Harrelson. He's a Woody. And him being in this movie is so good. He plays it so well. I actually haven't seen White Man Can't Jump, so I don't really know. I didn't know he had basketball skills, but anything that he's in, I love it, and I'll watch it. Or maybe I won't love it, but I'll definitely watch it. And I'll most likely enjoy his part because he's just a great actor. He seems like just such a good person. And Caitlin Olsen is also in this movie, which was totally random. I didn't realize and she plays Johnny's sister. And she just plays the perfect role of like, kind of like a bitchy chick who's kind of like, living her life, and a really caring sister who has a special needs brother that she loves and cares for, and what it's like to have to deal with that and feel like that is just your responsibility because he is your brother. It doesn't matter what happens, you have to take care of him, even if he feels like he can help himself on his own and he wants to, not have as many people hovering over him. Like it was a really beautiful and touching story. And Cheech Marin was in it as the rec center manager that houses the basketball training, like the training courts and whatever. It was just a really cool movie. I would honestly say that you should check it out. And like I said, it's just crazy that all these, they say that they're minorities, or they say that they don't have the same chances as everybody else and they're excluded or whatever. But, people with actual disabilities are the ones that are excluded from everything, and they don't even know it. Some of them don't even care because they're just that their situation is that bad. So to sit here and think that people can just change what they want and do what they want, not do what they want, but change their body however they want, of identifying as however they want. It's like kind of sad when you look at people that really can't do anything for themselves. I have a lot of respect for those people that have to live lives like that. And, there was that show Love on the Spectrum on Netflix where they had people with high functioning or just that had autism, and that went on dates and what they wanted from life and from love and, in a partnership. And it was so cute. It was fucking beautiful. Just, hearing this like humble want of just to be loved. And it's, some people right now are like, I can't be loved, so I'm going to fucking be a woman, or I'm going to be a man. And it's like, you know what? You date this person. They'll love you, they'll be with you, and they'll care about you, and you will be number one. You don't have to scar your body and tell kids that they can, change their genders just because you feel like you can't find because you can't find happiness, and all of a sudden you're just gonna break the system just because it's like there's people that can't even function in the system.
Sometimes it can be challenging to find someone who doesn't write her off based off a diagnosis.
Here I go.
Sorry, I'm kind of nervous. You okay?
I'm nervous too. I think you are so hot.
I got the giggles.
What are your dreams?
My dream is to meet somebody.
Whoa.
And I finally got to meet you, and I think you're really cool.
I like her so much.
Also, actor James Martin, who also has Down syndrome, he was in An Irish Goodbye, which is this short film that came out. I haven't seen it, but it won won an Oscar for Best Short Film. So that's pretty amazing. He won an Oscar. A special needs person with Down syndrome won an Oscar. Like, that is amazing. I don't need to see someone who got an Oscar for being a transgender, or like who was the most passable woman or most passable man. Like, we don't need that shit. It'd be funny, but it's not necessary, But yeah, so check it out, Champions. I know I kind of went off on not about Champions, but it's a great movie. It's so funny. It's Woody Harrelson coaching a special needs team, basketball team. You gotta watch it. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, this has been Ghost in the Craig. Oh, apparently there's a Spanish version, Championes, and that's what this is based off of. And it's funny, we actually watched The Ringer the other night with Johnny Knoxville to kind of like compare and contrast, and it's like, you definitely couldn't get away with making The Ringer today. You might be able to, maybe, but you'd have to have like some trans or like some super gay characters or something, because people would be like, look at this guy like going full retard, like it's like, he did, but I don't know, the movie was still good. It was a funny movie. The actors that they had, the special needs actors that they had were funny, and I love when they actually find out that he's lying and they all like gang up on him. It's perfect. At least they're not, they're not like no bitches. They fucking are like fucking fake. But anyway, yeah, check out Champions. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. This has been Ghost in the Craig. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later.